Tax deed title explained and simplified so that you can maximize your profits when it comes to tax lien and deed investing. Because if you're tuning in, you know that tax deed investing is one of the best ways to buy off-market property for up to 80 to 90% off, mortgage free. You can buy over-the-counter property for as little as $50. That's government seized property. And you can buy real estate at big discounts if you know what you're doing. However, a lot of people are afraid to get into tax deeds because they don't understand how the title process works and how the research works when it comes to doing tax deed investing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a few minutes tonight and I'm going to explain it and I'm going to simplify it so that you don't have to be too afraid of it and so you can maximize your profits in this real estate game here. So as we dive in, do me a favor. If you like this stuff, hit the thumbs up and ask me any questions. I'm here for a little bit tonight or today, whenever you are watching this. Okay. So let's talk about this. And I just did a super in-depth video on the YouTube channel with a company called Tax Title Services, who are the experts and authority in like title clearing. So I'm going to be kind of condensing that here today to help you understand the simplified process. Hello, Anita. I will be answering questions here in a little bit. So think about it this way. Title is like the chain of the property from the time it was born. It's like the birth certificate of a property that really tracks everything to do with that property from the time the government carved it up. Okay. So from the time it was created, the same way you were created and born in a hospital, you get that certificate, your birth certificate. Well, the difference between a birth certificate and the title certificate is, imagine your birth certificate tracked every time you ever, spent money or did everything. That's kind of what title is doing, going back all the way to the time basically the parcel of land was created. So for example, when let's call it a city lot is created, boom, carve out the title, you have that title on the property. From that day forward, there is a ledger of everything that's going to happen on that property. So for example, if you're going to get if you buy that property, it shows now you're the owner, that gets marked onto the title. The next step is going to be from there. If you're going to borrow money to build a house on that property, then from there, that gets marked on the title. So the title is the record of everything going on with that property. Okay. So it's pretty simple to look at it that way. Now, part of the challenge when you buy at a tax deed sale is the fact that because it's getting sold by the government, sometimes you might not have a clear title. It could be like a quitclaim deed or not a guaranteed deed. So I'll explain what those are here in a few minutes. Welcome everybody who's tuning in. We're having a good time talking about title. If you're just getting here, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let's have a party. So when you're coming to the title with tax deeds, one of the things that I love about tax deed investing is the fact that when you buy a property, the tax deed wipes out the mortgage, right? And here's why. Because there's this rule in tax lien and deed investing, and it says he who records first has the authority to wipe out everybody above them. So basically think of title like a pyramid, okay? So you have the pyramid of title, and at the very bottom, right when that property was birthed into existence, the government said, boom, we're slapping our title or our property taxes on that. So that is one of the very first records on that property, which is how much the government taxes. This has been going on for hundreds of years. So the government, if you don't pay your taxes, has the ability to record a lien. Okay. Now, it doesn't matter when that lien gets recorded because the tax lien is always going to be the very first lien recorded on that, like almost like the hospital you're born out of on your birth certificate. So what's going to happen is because the tax lien is always the priority lien, that means that the county always has priority when they foreclose. Okay. So you have the county tax lien, boom. From there, John Doe gets a mortgage on the property. He builds a house. Okay. That's recorded. From there, maybe John comes and gets a second mortgage. So you have the first mortgage, a second mortgage. From there, maybe he gets into some trouble. He owes the IRS some money. There's an IRS lien on there. Maybe he gets some work done on the property and doesn't pay. Now there's a mechanics lien on that. maybe there's a divorce or child custody and skipped out of John's maybe not a good guy, skipped out of town. Now there's a child support lien on this thing, right? All sorts of lien. Maybe there's a water or sewer issue, anything to do with that property and involving like money and stuff like that gets recorded on that title. So what you need to keep in mind is at a tax deed sale, because the tax lien recorded first, when they foreclose, they send everybody a notice that says, hey, mortgage company 1, taxes aren't paid, pay us, or the tax lien is going to foreclose. If you don't pay us because we recorded first, we're going to wipe you out. You don't get anything. So that's why when it comes to tax lien states, guess who's the biggest redeemer of tax liens? A lot of the times it's the bank, because the bank has a mortgage on a property here. The tax lien is here. The bank pays the taxes because if there's a $100,000 mortgage on the property, the bank wants to collect that. So they're going to pay the taxes to keep basically their debt on that property, which is why they do it. Okay. So that is very, very simple way to look at it. Now, a couple things to be aware of when it comes to checking title. Okay. So as long as the county notifies everybody, which generally they're pretty good at, then that means it's free and clear when you buy it, because everybody's been notified to say, whether it's mechanic Steve or whatever, who has the lien or the child support thing, they say, listen, taxes are due. They haven't been paid in 5 years. It's going to tax deed auction. Everybody has a chance to pay those taxes and protect their position. And sometimes they don't, and it goes to tax deed sale. Now, that's not to say that a lot of properties, some of these properties might not have a mortgage or anything. Maybe somebody passes away, or maybe people forget. That is one way to do it as well. Oh, real quick. Today we did our Tax Lien AI 1 webinar, which was absolutely awesome. We showed you guys how to get started with tax lien investing and use the power of AI. So I walked everybody through a 4-step process. And basically what I did is I showed you how to start with as little as $50 and build your way up into a multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio while using AI to do all of this hard work for you. So it's a really, really fun, in-depth webinar. There's a link below in the description to check out that replay. It's only going to be up for a day or two, and then it's coming down. So make sure to watch that in the replay below in the description while you can, because we had a really good time on there today while doing it. And if you're just joining, welcome aboard. Ask any questions you'd like. We got a few people tuning in. We're talking about title. So when it comes back to this title here, the key thing is to make sure the county has sent the notices, right? Now, if they make a mistake, one thing that can happen is people can protest the sale, right? So like say the mortgage company, so you get the property, you get the deed, you're all fired up, but the county didn't notify the mortgage company. The mortgage company says, hey, wait a minute, we didn't get notified. We're going to contest the sale. And then at that point, generally you can get it overturned and get your money back. But it's as simple as looking through the county record to make sure that the title notice has been sent out and that, they've been notified, right? So generally that's pretty straightforward. Now, here's something that you need to be aware of that can bite you. And that's going to be like city and municipality liens on the property and maybe other year's taxes that are due. So when you buy at the tax deed sale, always ask and figure out, okay, the sale is here in 2024. What years of taxes does the tax deed cover? Okay, so it could be the last 4 or 5 years, but maybe 2023 and 2024 due. So that's important to note to see if that's due. The next thing is to see, basically, from there we want to find out, are there any like city liens on the property? Because guess what? The old government is not a big fan of wiping themselves out, right? Because if it's a county tax lien and there's city liens or municipality liens by the government's going to pat their own back and not wipe themselves out. So I'll give you an example. Maybe the government or the county is like cutting the lawn, or they've cleaned up something, or if it's a lot, there was an issue, things like that. For example, one time I had a property, I bought it. There was a big bird's nest that got built. The neighbors were complaining. The property was vacant. Eventually the city went and just cleaned it up because it was a noise disturbance. And then they sent me a nice bill for that. And there was like a lien on the property because they did that. Okay. So make sure to keep keep an eye on that, because sometimes those could eat into your profits. So if there's any types of big city or county liens or municipality liens, you want to see what's going on with those and basically try to avoid any properties that have that sort of thing on it. So once again, if you're tuning in, we're having a good time just chatting about title real quick. If you like this, do me a favor, thumbs up, subscribe, ask me a question in the comments. Let's see. Anita says she lives in a county that re-auction houses. I live in a county that re-auction houses that don't sell. Well, that's great. So, well, it is and it isn't, right? So a lot of the times you can go and buy an over-the-counter property, and if they don't sell at the auction, they go into the inventory, it sees, you can get it for opening bid. The nice thing is you're living in a county that has auctions, right? Now, if you're in a county like in Texas and stuff where they have sales every single month, a lot of the times they won't do an over-the-counter. They'll just roll it into the next sale, okay? So that is generally why they would do that. So just to kind of recap, the title is the record of the property from start to finish. Now, if you get one of these properties, if you're getting a property anywhere below like $5,000, generally what you'll do is a quit claim deed to the new buyer, because it's an inexpensive property. If it's land or something small, it's pretty straightforward. Now, if you're buying a property at a tax deed sale, let's say it's worth like 200 grand, you get it for whatever, 20, 30, 40. You'll want to use a service like Tax Title Services, and they're going to get you a clear warranty deed so that the person you're going to sell it to can get financing on the property. Because sometimes the banks don't like to lend on property that's purchased at the tax deed sale, because the bank wants to see that the title is clean and clear and that there's no, that everybody's been notified. So from there, that's why you would use a company like Tax Title Services. Once again, we have a really good interview on the channel here. If you go and look past through some of the videos, you will see that. Once again, this is one of the best businesses to get into when you're doing real estate. It's very low barrier to entry to get started, and it's a heck of a lot of fun. I love this game. I love the way the community's growing here. I'm really trying to do my best to provide to everybody here. Like I say, we just did the webinar here this afternoon. We had a great time. We showed you how to use the power of AI to do all this stuff for you. We walk you through a 4-step game plan for starting with as little as $50, getting started, getting property in the next couple days, 4-step plan, and then how to buy off-market property, get these $100,000 houses for $5,000. There's a game plan there. So when you're done here, click the more info button below, or you can do it right now and watch that webinar. The replay is up right now for you to check out. It is totally awesome, or you can visit the Tax Lien AI 1/replay. Tons of value on there. You'll walk away with a very, very in-depth training on tax liens and deeds that is awesome. It is very, very awesome. So on that note, let me see if we have any questions here. Question. They don't take private bids usually. You live in Texas. Yep. Nervous about paying a property outside of the state since you're new to the business. Yeah, that's very reasonable, right? Like, you're in Texas, which is one of the best spots. So Texas has auctions every single month. Get familiar with your own backyard. This is very important. Or for anybody here, just pick a spot, get familiar with it, read the county websites, call the county, go into the county, see what's going on, see it, feel it, touch it. Now, if you're watching this, you can do it remote from anywhere in the world. So just kind of specialize in an area and start to go from there. Anita, you're going to do great. Watch the videos. Check out the webinar replay below. I do walk through some really cool stuff, some really good Texas examples, and there is lots of really good Texas examples here on the YouTube. So guys, I just wanted to come on, simplify the title process for you. Pretty straightforward. For the most part, it's always free and clear. Be aware of anything that has like municipality liens on it, because those can come up, those can bite you. A lot of the times, though, they won't, right? It doesn't happen too often where the municipal government has another lien on the property, but keep an eye out for it. For the most part, it's always free and clear. And we have plenty of trainings that show you how to go through the title, how to do all that stuff. If you watch the content on this channel, if you check out the webinar below, you'll be able to learn that. Let's see. We got a question. I'm an Indian citizen in Singapore. I enter into tax deeds. Yeah, absolutely, guys. You can do this stuff from anywhere in the world now. Like, all you need is an internet. If you're watching this, and away you go. So someone is in Ohio. They're saying the land banks have a ton of requirements. yeah, there's 3,300 counties, and everywhere is going to have their own set of rules. They get to make up their own rules. They're their own little kingdom for the most part. So if it's hard there, go find another county, specialize in it. Just put a fraction of the time you put into your favorite TV show into this, and you'll be making money in no time. So appreciate everybody here. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you like this, ask a question in the comments. It helps me come up with ideas and direction for new content that you guys are interested in. And once again, below the video is a replay of an in-depth webinar I did today called the Tax Lien AI 1. We're the first people to use AI in the tax lien and deed game, and it is wild. It'll save your starting time, save a year or two of trial and error. It goes through a 4-step game plan, starting with $50 all the way up to getting $100,000 houses for as little as $5,000. That link is below in the description, or you can visit taxlienai1.com/replay, and we'll have a good time. So check that out. Check out some videos on the channel. I always appreciate you tuning in and taking the time to watch these. I'll do my best to continue to help you in this business and this journey. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.